Yes, peace everybody, my name is Phil, this is Hello Hip Hop, and welcome to part 3, the third and final installment of Sketch Along Colour. Let's get to it. Sketch Along part 3, as well as pens, you'll need coloured felt tips, okay? But hold tight, don't choose your colours just yet, because we're going to go through that in a second. How to choose your colour ready for this exercise, okay? Now, we was going to start with, where are we? Now, we were going to do this using professional colours. These are alcohol-based pens and paint-based pens, Posca and things, but you know, all this professional stuff, we don't need that right now. We're going to use ones that we buy at the supermarket, okay? These ones you can buy, these are just Crayola. If you see that, Crayola, yeah, super tips. And we'll be using these. So if you want to go grab your felt tips and let's go choosing colour. Let me introduce to you this. It will help you choose colours that go well with each other because it's so easy to go wrong. And with the help of my friends, they told me about the colour wheel. So the colour wheel, I'm going to simply split this into two halves, the right half and the left. So I'm going to start with my right half first, and I'm going to choose 3 colours, and I'm going to call these my complementary colours. So for our complementary, we're going to pick 3 colours that sit next to each other. So I've got orange, and next to that on the colour wheel is yellow, and next to that is green. Simple, eh? So we've got our complementary colours. Now let's go to the opposite side, and we're going to choose 2 colours, and we're going to call these our contrast colours. So we've got our complementary, and we're going to go to the opposite side, to the left side. I'm going to choose red and blue. Alright, they're on the opposite side to whatever 3 colours I've chosen, my complementary colours. And these are going to be called contrast. So I've got 3 complementary, 2 contrast, they'll all sit nicely with each other. I've got 5 colours in total. You can pick the same as me, or you can pick your own. Which ones would you choose? Yes, so we've all got our pens? Brilliant, okay. Colour wheel, very important. So you'll have your lettering, or your name, or a word, okay? And you've added your effects ready to fill in. If you haven't checked out part 1 and 2 of Sketch Along, please do so, because then it gets you ready for this part, which is to colour in, okay? I'm going to put a little sketch list up for you kids now. Feel free to forward it to the part that you'd like to learn, or you can go through each one with Phil. Alright, and I promise you at the end of this you'll have the skills to be able to do that. Okay, using just ordinary pens and black pens as well. So the part 1 really good for Key Stage 1 for you little uns, how to colour in with 1 colour but also add your shine in your fill-in. Alright, part 2, 2 colour fill-in. Okay, so it's kind of like a fade, but a hard line fade with 2 complementary colours and added shine. Part 3, wild style inspired piece there. Okay, it's got drips on there and a nice thick red outline. Part 4 is how to turn all our lines into coloured lines, so there's no black lines in there, and it gives a nice different effect. I've used like the Union Jack, okay, inspired colours. Okay, so let's get to it. Feel free to see which part you'd like to learn, or get ready to sketch along with Phil. Yeah! Okay, the first one, great for Key Stage 1. Let's choose simple colours and work with them. So let's pick 2 colours from our complementary list. Here I'm going to pick yellow for the bubble background, the lighter colour, and green for my letters. So I'm going to fill my letters in with green. Feel free to choose any colour you want, switch it up, use many colours. So So let's start with filling in the background. Using the big tip of our pen, go around and fill it in section by section, working your way along. In this way it'll make your piece more manageable. Alright, so we've done the background. Looking good, looking good. Let's grab our other colour and let's start with adding some shine to our letters. Usually people would do it at the end with special pens, but in this case we don't have it, so let's add it in first. If we had a light shining on our letters, which side would it fall on? Would it be the top or the bottom? It'd be the top, wouldn't it? So let's go ahead and put our highlight in there. Using the little tip of our pen, the thinnest bit, just go and join the outline of where your shine would be. So where the top of the letters are, let's join your highlights there. Nice little tip, the more curvy around the lines are, the softer and more dynamic it will look, more bubbly. Alright, so now we've drawn the outline for our shine, let's go ahead and colour the rest in. Okay, so colour all the letters in, working in small sections. These are using the pens, remember, that you can buy at the supermarket. So these are little tips that once you get all these done, then you'll be firing away. And the great thing is you can always turn your paper as well, just to help you. Why not add some extra flavour and break up that shine using the very tip of your pen, the thin part. Just add a few lines in there to give it an illusion of a reflection. Look like it's reflecting something, isn't it? Looking good? But now the letters aren't popping out, so we need to go around it with maybe a black pen and help those letters pop. Alright, I'm going to go around all the outside, all the edges, and it'll cover up any little imperfections as well. It'll cover up any little bits where your colour might have strayed onto the other colour. It'll just tidy everything up. I'm using a big thick pen there, so I'm just going to use my thinner pen. You can use a ballpoint, whatever you want. Clean up the rough edges or faint lines just to make it look a little bit more crisp. And there you go, you're all done. Simple colours with shine. Next up, 2 color fade combo. So first up, pick 2 colors from our complementary colors. I'm going to go yellow and orange. So I'm going to blend yellow into orange. You can use any other color. Feel free to mix it all up. As long as they'll sit next to each other, it'll go well. So starting with our lightest color, let's add some shine. Again, using a light. Where would it cast onto our letters? Where would the light fall? Top or the bottom? It'd come at the top, wouldn't it? So go ahead and draw in the outline to represent our shine. All around the top. You can do them thicker or thinner, gives different effect. And other places as well, see what happens. Once we've done that, draw a straight line about 2/3 the way down. We're going to call this our guideline. And using the same colour, fill in our letters above the guideline. You can break up your shine there to add reflection. Now swap colour to your darker colour. Alright, so the darkest of the two, which mine here is orange. It's just orange can cover yellow real nice, isn't it? And fill in the lower half. Reason why we're using darker colour here is because the darker colour goes over the lighter colour. Using the same pen, let's start with our fade. Leave a gap from the top of the guideline, leave a gap and draw in a thick line. So I'm just turning my paper here just to help me get a more cleaner line, alright? To me that looks a little bit thin, so I'm just going to thicken it up a little bit more. Now using the tip of my pen, I'm going to draw a thinner line, again leaving a gap. And it's going to give an effect. You can draw many lines, draw more lines and see what you can do. This is very basic. Now using a black pen, let's add fade onto our 3D effect. All the little nooks and crannies, all the grooves of our letters, colour it in black. So this one I'm just going to colour in a little bit because it's going to fade out. We're going to do a line fade again. Do thinner lines as we go lighter. It'll give an illusion as though it's coming out. Thicker adds depth, and as you go out, do thinner lines. Using my skinnier pen, I'm just going to clean up any lines and maybe add a few more, just to give a bit more depth. Clean all the edges up. I'm just going to add a thick outline around my letters and my effect. 2-color fade. You could try more colors, try fading 3 colors. With the lines you could try switching it up, so you could have curvy lines, zigzag lines, crisscross lines on a different angle. Alright, see what you can come up with. How to give a piece fat outline and add some drips at the end. This piece is Wild Style inspired, so we're going to use the colours of Wild Style, which are yellow, red, and if you want to add more, is blue. Starting with our yellow pen, just roughly filling in all the letters while leaving the tops of them blank. This will give an impression of kind of like a cool highlight at the top. With a thick bit of our pen, it just helps you colour in that little bit faster. You just want to roughly, loosely fill it all in. Alright, so it looks as though the light's shining, bouncing off the top. Now switching to our red, let's do a chunky outline. Using our black pen, let's go around the outside of our letters and also our drop shadow, tidying it all up, getting rid of any imperfections. Normally what we do is add the drop shadow in last, but you've probably already got it in. Here we've already got it in, so let's just go around it and over it just to make it more crisp. And using our thin pen, you can tidy up any rough bits. So you want to add drips? Okay, so where's your drips going to be coming from? Use the same colour, so it'll give the impression that it's wet paint dripping down. Using a thick part of your pen, you can do thick drips. Using the thin tip, you can do thin drips. You can do transparent tips as though that there's drips that there's nothing in there. You can do them curved like that, or you can do flat drips, okay, with no outline. It's going to add loads of different drips in there. You can connect it up with the little curvy lines just to make it look like it's wet paint. Alright, make it look a bit more rugged. Switch it up. Add lots of drips, add just a few drips. It's entirely up to you. Coloured lines, flat bubbles, and then top it off with an offset outline. We're going to pick our 2 contrasting colours, and we're going to go ahead and choose the darkest colour and draw over all our lines. Pressing very lightly with the thinnest point of our pen, we're going to try and go over all these lines, okay, with the thinnest point. Great little exercise to help you have pen control, okay? That's the challenge. So you can go over all your lines nice and thin. Usually I'd use like a fine liner, but in this exercise I'm going to see if I can do the majority of the part using these felt tips. Don't worry about having little wobbly lines or anything anywhere, because you can always cover them up with the next thing, bubbles. Alright, there's lots of little tips and tricks that you can do to cover little imperfections up, so I won't worry too much. So we're going to go ahead and draw our flat bubbles. So like the first part of this, we had an outline where we coloured our bubbles in. In this one, we're just colouring freehand, flat bubbles. And like I said, it can it can cover up any imperfections. There we go, coloured lines with bubbles. Now let's add the offset outline and let's break it up. So it's going to be broken. First, swap your pen using the thinnest part. Okay. We're going to draw an offset outline, leaving a gap. So you're going to leave a gap between the outside of the letters and then draw a line. Okay. You can break it up, break the line up to give it more flavour. Make it look a little animated. So it looks broken, doesn't it? Once you've done that, nice and simple, great little exercise for pen control. You're all done. Yes, did you all enjoy that? Haha. Okay, I hope it wasn't too difficult. Lots of other little bits and bats I wanted to hopefully put in, but I couldn't, only simply because it had made the video far too long. But yeah, hope that's enough for you to keep you busy for now. There's nothing to stop you from checking out other artists' work online. If you're young, make sure you ask an adult first, a parent or guardian, before you go online. But there's tons of things you can find on Pinterest, Google, Instagram. There's artists constantly uploading daily incredible work that will inspire you infinitely. And if you like any of it, switch it up, try, let it inspire you and try just tracing it even, but switch it up. Make sure you always add your own style and flavor. Don't do it like for like. It's not cool. Try and add your own interpretation into it. Okay, yes, so I'm going to leave you with a video now of us putting all these techniques that we've just learned together. Okay, so in the meantime, between time, enjoy this video. Work hard, be good, stay focused, and we'll see you again. Peace.
Let's begin. I want to show you how to something that I'm sure you're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey DJ, play one for me. Yeah. Let's remix it. Party's already started. Party's already started. Party's already started.
got an organ going there. No wonder the sound ain't so much bottom.